Welcome to another episode of Bright Headed Publishing Audiobook Book Club. I am your host, Kelly Morgan. Today I had the honor and the pleasure of speaking with Tymika Chambliss. Tymika wrote a children's book about how to deal with breast cancer. The book is part of a wonderful series that she started, but this book is called Pink Hope and the Hope Leaders. And Pink Hope is a superhero and a breast cancer warrior. This is a children's book, ages 7 to 13. I think it's a wonderful idea. I cannot wait for you to meet her. She is the newest member of the book club. Please welcome author Tymika Chambliss. Tymika, welcome to the podcast and welcome to the book club. You are the newest member to the book club. Welcome. How are you?
I am great. How are you today? Thank you for having me. Thank you for sharing your platform with me. I truly appreciate it. I do not take it lightly.
You are very, very welcome. I'm very glad you could be here. I'm excited to talk about your book and what you've written. I think it's a wonderful book. It's a great idea. I never even thought about it. We'll get into what it's about in a minute. But before we go there, as an author, I always like to kind of find out about the author. So when you decided, or let me back up. Did you always know that you wanted to be an author?
Yes. I started writing when I was 10 years old. I wrote my first book at the age of 16. Didn't publish it because at that time I had no clue of what the process was. So, it just kind of like stayed in my folder. So I've literally wrote poems, short stories, all that since I was 10 years old. I didn't really, I guess I didn't embark on being an author until my breast cancer diagnosis. And that was the catalyst that kind of like pushed me back into it because, life happens and a lot of times our passions, we kind of sweep them under the rug, especially once you become a parent, you have kids, you have a job, a lot of times just life doesn't give you that open opportunity to be able to dive back into your passions. And so, breast cancer was it was a blessing. And people think I'm crazy when I say that, but it literally pushed me back into my purpose of writing. And so I'm officially a published author now.
That is fantastic. I always like to say, life comes crashing in, when you're trying to do your dreams and you got to go do the things that you got to do to get by.
Absolutely.
So sometimes, like you said, writing, although a passion, you might have had to put it on the back burner, but it sounds like it never went away.
Absolutely.
It is strange how breast cancer could be your catalyst, but I get it because you're writing through your journey of having this horrific disease. I'm guessing. Am I guessing right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I was, when I was diagnosed with breast cancer in December of 2019, I didn't really tell anybody. In January, I told my VP at the time, and, because I had kind of like stopped writing, when I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and I was like, because I was in the process of actually filming a pilot for a television show that I wrote. And I found out like a week after we finished filming the pilot that I had a breast cancer diagnosis. And I was like, okay, put everything on pause because I don't know if I'm going to be here, And I was talking to my VP about it, and she said, well, Ty, because everybody calls me Ty. She said, why don't you just create a journal? And when she said that, I was like, oh my, it never even dawned on me to do a journal or anything like that, just about my process, my progress. And when I started writing the journal, it was so therapeutic for me because I was able to say everything I couldn't say out loud. And I was able to have this conversation with myself, have this conversation with God, just be as authentic and brutally honest as I wanted to, because it's on paper, on my laptop. And I was like, you know what, this is really good. So my initial idea was to create a book from my journal. And it kind of just went a totally different direction in regards to what I was going to publish.
Yeah, that's funny how sometimes your journey takes you one way, although you think you're going to go another way.
Yes.
Right? So here you are with your breast cancer diagnosis, you're writing again, but how do you come to figuring out what you're going to publish? Because you didn't publish your journals.
No, I did not publish my journals. What happened was I had a mastectomy on June 3rd last year, 2020. And I came home. 2 days after I came home, I woke up that morning and this phrase, pink hope, just kind of like ringed in my ear. And I was like, okay, I didn't know what it was. I was like, let me just kind of, save it, put it in my mental bank and, move on. And literally a week to the day, I was asleep. And this storyline just passed before me while I was asleep. And I woke up and I was like, where's my laptop? And I started typing. Didn't really know what direction it was going to go in. I literally was just listening to the people in my head. I know that sounds really insane. I'm not insane, but my characters talk to me. And so I was listening to the characters and just typing out everything. And Pink Hope and the Hope Leaders was built through that. The other thing I think is that I am a mother of 3. And I didn't really know how to explain my breast cancer diagnosis to my children. It was the hardest thing. I couldn't even figure out how to say the words to them. So I would always tell them, oh, mommy's having issues with her boobs, or mommy has to have surgery on her boobs. I just could not verbalize breast cancer to them. And so this book was not only something I dreamed about, but also what I used to be able to share my diagnosis with my children without inciting fear in them. And that was my biggest thing. I just didn't want them to hear breast cancer and automatically develop a fear for it. And so this book literally was the avenue for me to be able to explain it to them.
And that is so cool. So what made you decide to publish it? Did you look for a publisher, or did you just decide to publish on your own?
I actually, it took me a month to make the decision if I was going to publish it. So I finally decided in August of 2020, let's go ahead on and work on publishing. I found a great illustrator. My fiance, he has some of his workers. He has a marketing company. So he worked alongside them to be able to get the illustrations done. I hired a marketing company in Memphis, and I almost lost all of my money and they did not do the job. So I made the decision. My book was supposed to come out on January the 1st, 2021. I found out the day before, literally the night before. It was about 10 o'clock that night. The publishing company that I hired, she called me and was like, hey, your book's not going to be ready. And I'm like, wait a minute, what you mean it's not going to be ready? You haven't even ordered the books? And so that's a whole nother topic for another day. But that whole incident made me just choose to self-publish. So I really just kind of self-published. I wasn't able to go through KDP, Amazon, or anything like that because they didn't print landscape books. So I literally had to find a company that print landscape books and just get them to print it and just sell it from my website, because it was just, when I tell you, I went through hell and high water trying to get this book published, but it's here now. So, that.
Well, now, and congratulations, because it sounds like it was a journey.
Sure.
And even though the publishing was probably difficult, marketing, how has that been? Because usually people say, I can publish, I can use KDP or whatever, but then, I get my book on Amazon or whatever, and now what do I do?
Absolutely. So I'm not going to say it's been difficult for me, but it has been slightly challenging only because I don't have a platform. like Amazon or KDP or Books A Million to actually tell people, okay, you can go to Amazon and order the book, or go to Books A Million. Like literally, it's on my website. So I built the website, I have the book on there. And so I'm literally just like, okay, please buy a book. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so,
right.
It's been challenging because I don't have those platforms, but it's also been really, it's been accepted. I've gotten some really great reviews from the book. I had daycares that purchased the book, schools that purchased the book, so I've really had some like really, really, really great opportunities to be able to get the book out just using my own personal platform.
What about libraries?
I have not had a chance to talk with libraries, and the main reason why is because my book does not have a UPC. What is it called? The barcode. I don't have a barcode.
Oh, the IBSN?
Yes, ISBN number. That's it. I don't have an ISBN number because the publishing company that I originally went through, the lady said that she purchased my ISBN number. She gave me a number, and when I went and looked it up, it did not exist. So I don't have an ISBN number. So that's the reason why I've been kind of leery about like going to different bookstores and things like that. My next set of books that I'm going to get printed will have the ISBN number, and then I'll be able to, definitely try to partner with bookstores and the library as well.
Right. And, audiobook as well.
Yes. Now we are working on the audiobook. My children, which are actually the characters in the book, they are the characters that'll be doing the audio version of it. So I have a really great team that's working alongside me to get that going. And of course, with the audiobook, we can put that on Amazon. So that'll be definitely a plus when it comes down to the marketing side of it.
So the book is Pink Hope and the Hope Leaders.
Yes.
It is a children's book. I saw where it was on like ages 7 to 13. Is that about right?
Yes. Yeah.
So is it a series or is it a standalone? Because it sounds just the name to me sounds like this could be a whole series.
It is a series. So the first book, and this is Pink Hope. She is a Black female superhero. She's breast cancer warrior. And she's actually breast cancer awareness. She's the first Black female superhero character to represent breast cancer survival. So I'm super excited about that. But yes, it is a series. I'm actually in the process of writing Purple Hope, which is about Alzheimer's, explaining dementia to children. My grandfather, he died of dementia, and my baby never got a chance to really meet him, engage with him, or anything like that. And so I wanted to write a book that just honors his legacy. When he was 91, from New Orleans, he was a Creole man, had his own tailor shop, his own barber shop. He was an entrepreneur. He was a war veteran of World War II. So I'm like, he has really just, his legacy alone just says a lot. And I wanted to be able to build something to honor him. And so that's what my next book is going to be about.
So are you going to do a whole series?
Yes, we are. We are doing an entire series on it. We're doing Purple Hope. Like I said, that's what we're working on now. We're also going to do a book about autism. And so it'll be Puzzle Hope. We're also going to be doing COVID. We're going to be doing, oh my goodness, it's quite a few. We're going to be doing lymphoma. I can't even, my brain is literally, it's going blank right now. But yeah, so we have roughly written about 12 books that we have committed to writing in regards to bringing hope and awareness to those particular diseases. So yeah, we're going to be doing this for a really long time.
I think that's really cool. I just had a flash in my mind when you said that. You should really partner with children's hospitals.
I have Okay, so Le Bonheur Children's Hospital, St. Jude is actually in Memphis, Tennessee. And so I've partnered with the cosplay organization that they have their superheroes that go, they have Captain America, Black Panther, they go and take pictures with the kids. So we're actually in the process of creating the actual version of Pink Hope. So she's getting her own costume built. She's going to be an actual character, and she's joining that cosplay organization where she's going to be able to go and interact with the kids, read her book to the kids, take pictures with them and all that wonderful stuff. So yes, we are actually in the process of doing that.
That is cool. Yeah, when you said that, I thought, man, that would be a great place to partner and another great place to give your book, I think, to people who would really benefit and really want to read it. I think it's fantastic what you do. So tell me about Pink Hope and the Hope Leaders. I get who Pink Hope is. Who are the Hope Leaders?
So the Hope Leaders, Pink Hope is about, the book itself is about a little boy named Devin. His mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. And one of the questions he asked is, can I get it? Because he didn't really understand it. And so Pink Hope comes in, she takes them on this magical journey to the Hope Factory and explains to them what breast cancer is. She actually shows them what the breast cancer cells look like. She shows them what radiation looks like. She shows them what the chemo drugs look like. Like, she gives them a broad range of what breast cancer is. And then after she explains it to them, she commissions them to be Hope Leaders. And Hope Leaders are just people who have dedicated their lives to bring hope to other people. So Devin becomes his mom's Hope Leader. He receives a Hope Leader medallion. And he goes home and tells his mom, don't worry about anything because I am your Hope Leader, and every Hope Leader deserves a big helper. And so that's what we're teaching kids, that, there are different things out here. We don't have to be afraid of it. So what we want to do is commission them to bring hope to other people.
Yeah, that's cool. So do all the books have Hope Leaders in them?
The dementia book that we're working on, Purple Hope, it's called Purple Hope and Grandpa's Wall of Pictures. So every book has its own, it has it's all about bringing hope to people, but it has its own storyline. We didn't want it to be repetitious, and we didn't want it to mirror Pink Hope. We wanted to make sure that all of our characters have their own storyline that surrounds that particular illness. But ultimately, it's just all about bringing hope to everyone who's dealing with those particular situations.
So that is fantastic. If somebody is interested in getting the book, how do we get it?
You can go to my website. It is called www.hoperulestheworld.com. It's called The Hope Factory. And The Hope Factory is a breast cancer resource website for Black women who've been diagnosed with breast cancer, regardless of, if they're a pre-survivor, survivor, or just a thriver, which is someone who has been diagnosed, someone who's going through the process of taking chemo and all of that, and the other person who has survived from it. So that's what the website is about. And Pink Hope and the Hope Leaders is one of our resources that we're offering to mothers who have children and they're just struggling to try to figure out how to share it with their children.
I think that's so important. I think that sometimes we get so caught up with the person who actually has the cancer and not how it affects their family, especially the children. And so when you had told me that's what your book was about, I thought that was a really great idea, because you don't really see a lot of that.
Yeah, I was that mom. I literally was that mom. I didn't know how to tell my kids. I didn't know how to explain it to them. I didn't know, because the thing is with children, you want to be able to explain it to them on their level, where you don't incite fear. And so, my oldest daughter, at the time she was 10. She was 10. And, she would come and, after I told her Mommy's having issues with her boob, she would just come, lay in the bed with me and lay on her chest. And she's like, Mommy, which boob is it? I'm like, girl, if you don't leave me alone, But it was one of the things, because she understood, okay, something is wrong. and I never wanted to, I try my best not to cry in front of my kids, even when I had those moments. I try my best not to complain about it in front of them. I try not to allow it to be a part of their story, and so I would use certain terminologies to share it with them without sharing it with them. And when this book came to me in my dream, and I was like, oh my God. And after I wrote it, I sent it over to my sister because my kids were staying with her. Because of course I had just had a mastectomy. And I told her, I said, let Lila, which is my oldest daughter, I said, let her read it. And she gave it to her to read it. And my daughter, she loved the book. And she was like, well, who wrote this? And my sister was like, well, your mom wrote it. And then we got on the phone and had the conversation about, okay, this is why mommy had to go to surgery. This is why mommy is resting right now. And it was, and so I told her, I said, and the character is you. She said, it is. I was like, yes, that is you. And so it was just a way, for me to be able to let her know that, number one, I appreciate, because she brought hope to me in times where I felt hopeless. And so in being able to understand that, I wanted to let her know, number one, I appreciate you for being a big girl for mommy. And then number two, we're going to use our story to bring hope to other people.
I think that's so fantastic. So the book again is Pink Hope and the Hope Leaders. Give us the website one more time.
Yes, it's rulestheworld.com. You can also check us out on Facebook, I think it's Pink Hope Heroes, as well on Instagram, Pink Hope Heroes. We would love to hear from you. You're welcome to inbox us, DM us, leave us a message on the website, and we'll definitely make sure that we accommodate you, answer your questions, or reach back out to you.
I think that's so fantastic. So this means that because you are now a member of the book club, you get special perks and benefits you didn't know about. Ooh. That means that you are now an official member, which means you can come back at any time and talk about your next book. All you need to do is just let me know. So it's an email. It's an email saying I've Purple Hope is ready. Yeah. And if you want to come talk about it and so we can help you promote it, that's what the podcast is all about. So definitely let me know. So I'll expect to hear from you.
Yes, ma'am, Kelly.
sometime this year with Purple Hope so that we can get it out there and let people know about it.
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am. We'll definitely do that.
Well, thank you so much, Tymika, for being with me today. I truly appreciate it. I think what you're doing is wonderful. And like I said, you are welcome to come back at any time.
Oh, thank you so much, Miss Kelly. I appreciate again for you sharing your platform and just giving me the opportunity to be able to share hope with others. I truly appreciate it.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Bright Headed Publishing Audiobook Book Club. I have been your host, Kelly Morgan. I just wrapped up with children's author Tymika Chambliss. We talked about her book, Pink Hope and the Hope Leaders, and the other book that she's writing in this wonderful series. I think it's absolutely fabulous what she's doing. You can definitely check her out and get the books at hoperulestheworld.com. Again, that's hoperulestheworld.com. Thank you for listening. This will be the last episode of our first season. I'm happy to say we have done 76 podcasts. We started the podcast in November of 2020, and this episode airing on August 21st will be the last one of season 1, and we are taking a much needed break, and we will be back in October. But don't worry, if you would like to be on the podcast, we are still going to be recording starting in September. So please, by all means, email me. I would love to help you promote your book. brightheadedpublishing@gmail.com. Again, that's brightheadedpublishing@gmail.com. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for being a part of our ever-growing book club. I can't wait to talk to you again in October, but until then, keep writing.